Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is TamezTech. Welcome to a new video. Today we're going to be trying out something pretty fun, in my opinion. We're going back into the Fantasy Cup, and we are trying out MAGNE Zone. We're getting into the MAGNE Zone. We're trying out MAGNE Zone with Azumarill as a safe swap. Obviously, I don't know, Azumarill is just kind of the safest Pokemon of this meta. So yeah, we're gonna just slap it in there just so we can try and make MAGNE Zone work. And we're gonna put Goodra in the back just to see if we can find some wiggle room with it. Honestly, I feel like Goodra has a lot of good coverage, but the lack of damage and the strange amount of bulk makes it a little bit weird. But anyways, yeah, let's check out this team. I just want to point out this team really isn't great for climbing or anything like that. It's not super competitive. So if you do use it and you lose elo, don't blame me. But if you use it and you gain elo, feel free to praise me in the comments. Other than that, let's go ahead and check out these battles here. First battle against Phoenix the Boss. I believe a regional finalist, so very scary first game, but we see Azumarill in the lead, pretty good for us. I stay in with MAGNE Zone. Goodra is just so quick to these moves. I do have to shield this, but I think I will bank this energy if possible, bring in my own Azumarill. And honestly, Goodra has a decent matchup here because you can survive an Ice Beam. But after landing those 3 Volt Switches, honestly, this Goodra is pretty close to Ice Beam range. So I think I'm safe to throw the Ice Beam here. If they shield it, then that's totally fine. But if they don't, they're going to be pretty much knocked out. So I can kind of aid my pacing here, make sure I'm pacing to these Ice Beams a little bit closer to when they pace to their Thunder Punches. They're able to swap out now, and they bring in Jirachi. So I'm going to save my energy here since it's all resisted. Bring in Goodra, and I'm able to cap tie with this Aqua Tail here. We actually don't cap tie. Okay. Well, we should be able to get to the second Aqua Tail. I don't think a move here knocks us out, so I'm gonna go ahead and let this go. We actually survive on 1 HP. There go the IVs for you. IVs do matter when they do, but they don't when they don't. We're able to force a shield here, and now I feel like I can kind of just bring in my MAGNE Zone, full send this Wild Charge. I don't really want to have to shield just yet, and hopefully they don't have a lot of fast move pressure against us in the back. They bring back in the Goodra, and I kind of mistakenly throw a Volt Switch there. I really should have waited to see what comes in, but now I can bank a little bit of energy, combo with my Azumarill, and we are just 1 move away from the Wild Charge with my own Azumarill. I have to say, I haven't played MAGNE Zone in quite a while, so I kind of overthink my game plan here. I'm thinking that I have to force this Azumarill to throw energy, and now I'm thinking that I have to get to the Wild Charge plus Mirror Shot to knock out this Azumarill, which is definitely not the case. If I threw the Play Rough, we survive the move, we get the Wild Charge off. I just had to make this as close as possible for no reason. But thankfully, we still survive this move. We get to the Wild Charge. We're able to claim this victory. But man, I don't know why I really doubted my MAGNE Zone there. Wild Charge does about 80% to an Azumarill, by the way. So that was a guaranteed win if I just, believed in myself more. All right, terrible lead in the next battle. Honestly, this thing is so bad, I can't even tank a Mud Slap no matter what. So I pivot instantly into my Goodra, and they're staying in. And this is what I kind of liked about the Goodra safe swap this meta. It really doesn't have too many answers, right? It's flexible enough that you can kind of wiggle around. You really need Thunder Punch here just to be able to deal with a Azumarill. You might be able to get away with Power Whip here and there, but it still doesn't 2-shot, so the pacing on Thunder Punch really aids us here. We're able to throw this Thunder Punch right before they get to the next move. It's actually a cap tie, so we're able to get the maximum use out of this Goodra. I don't think I can afford to shield this. I can just bring in my MAGNE Zone, hopefully Volt Switch them all the way down, and whatever they bring in, I mean, I have to bring in my Azumarill, right? At this point, if I let moves go on my Azumarill, I might get too low, so I have to shield this Drill Run. And it is a Corviknight in the back, so this is going to be a little bit scary to deal with, not going to lie. Hopefully they don't boost, and they do, so it's looking a little rougher and rougher every second here. Thankfully, though, they did misalign the clocks a little bit by throwing energy with their Pokemon, so I'm going to throw my energy right now so I can combo play with my MAGNE Zone. Just give it as much use as I can. I'm going to throw this Wild Charge immediately. I want so that if they come in with the Drill Burr, they get the least amount of farm possible. And for some reason, my opponent actually lets the wild charge go on Corviknight, which just means that I need more fast move pressure into this Drillbur. And lo and behold, I mean, they're never getting to 2 moves, right? So GG's to my opponent there. A little bit of a weird play by them, but we'll take it. On to the next battle, extremely based Pokemon in the lead. We see Giratina. Very, very cool pick. I wish I had one of these. Unfortunately, I did try to trade for a few of them. I traded for 2 and I didn't get lucky enough to get it under. So, yeah, a little bit unlucky for me there. But anyways, we are able to correctly shield the Shadow Ball here. My opponent actually calls the move there. They actually make a nice catch, but they bring in a Drag Cloak. And I thought I was based for running Dragapult, and my opponent is running Giratina and Drag Cloak. I'm going to leave it up to you to guess what the last Pokemon is going to be. But my opponent, a little bit of a misplay here. They tried to go for the full farm down there. They couldn't get it. They bring in Giratina Origin, and we're able to get this Aqua Tail off. They actually shield that, which is a little bit weird. I'm going to bring in Magnezone and hopefully just get a full farm down here. This should just be an ominous win, but I guess I still respect it, unfortunately. And lo and behold, look at that. It is Dragapult in the back. Very, very epic pick by my opponent here. It looks like, though, unfortunately for them, a Shadow Wild Charge is more than definitely going to KO this Pokemon. So we're able to KO them there, and then we Volt Switch the Giratina, and that's going to be a good game. GG's to my opponent. Honestly, an insanely based team. Triple Dragon Ghost. Very, very cool. All right, we see what could be a good lead in the next match, but it's always Fire Fang with Shadow Salamence, right? So we just instantly pivot out of there. We bring in our Goodra, which is a really, really nice counter to that Salamence, and we still have a Sumeru in the back, right? So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, I kind of just need shields up, right? I do shield this move. It is thankfully the play rough, but I kind of just need a shield advantage against that Salamence so that my Azumarill can deal with it, right? Double Fly will knock out Azumarill, so I have to keep a shield for that no matter what. I farm up a little bit more with the Goodra, and I'm either going to get switch advantage or shield advantage here. And that's the nice thing about Goodra, right? I'm actually going to instantly pivot here, and they have their own Dragapult. The second Dragapult. What is going on? Did my video do something? Are people actually trying this Pokemon? I feel like it's a really fun pick, but man, we're able to land a Shadow Volt Switch onto this thing, and oh my god, that did so much damage. But you guys know a Shadow Salamence with no shields is practically a dead Salamence. Unfortunately for my opponent here, they are able to land this Fly. But we are going to get to this Ice Beam before they can swap out and before they get another move. Since our Magnezone was super debuffed on their defense, they didn't get a lot of farm there. So yeah, I'm just going to bring in my Goodra in here. I'm just going to shield whatever they throw. Even if it's a bait or not, I outpace to this Aqua Tail. And just getting this damage onto them is practically a good game. Even if they survive, which they don't, we're still in a good spot. So yeah, GG's to my opponent there. Very, very cool pick in the back. Onto the next battle here, we got Magnezone onto Togekiss. Not a bad lead, but it's not amazing either. Togekiss learns Aura Wheel now, so it's a little bit scary. They pivot into a Mud Boy, and honestly, thank God it's not a Mud Slapper, because that would have done half of my HP. That would have really sucked. We bring in Goodra, we tank this Earthquake. We are able to severely outpace to these Aqua Tails, so we're going to be able to force shield or switch here as long as we play our cards right. So let's see what we can do. We land the first Aqua Tail. It doesn't quite do about 40% of their HP, give or take, and these Dragon Breaths aren't doing much. So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, you know what? I think my win con right now is shielding this move and farming them all the way down, which we barely get. They died with the Rock Slide there, so very, very clutch farm down there by our Goodra. We're able to force a shield with the Thunder Punch, and they get minimal farm, which is really good for us. I'm going to instantly send this Wild Charge. I just need to force this shield. If they know shield, so be it. But a Togekiss without shields is just farm for my Azu. We predict that it's double slap in the back, so thank God we won alignment there, because we would have been super cooked. And yeah, that's going to be a good game. Amazing lead in the next match. We see Azumarill in the lead. I'm predicting an instant swap out. I wait a little bit. They bring in Corviknight, and this is looking a little bit dire. If they land a payback, we're pretty much cooked here. So I am going to shield the first move. Thankfully, it is the payback, so we don't get baited there. And I should be able to get to these double, Thunder Punch plus Aqua Tail before their next payback. But they actually shield here. So it does make it a little bit tricky, right? We can't go for the Aqua Tail just yet. We do have to go for the Thunder Punch. They still survive that, and I'm hoping that I can survive this payback in return so I can get a farm down. And we do. So we are able to get this full farm down here. We keep alignment. We don't really have switch advantage or anything. I mean, we do have switch advantage. We don't really have shield advantage. But we are able to land this Thunder Punch onto Azumarill, which honestly is really decent damage. So we bring back in our MAGNE Zone. Azumarill doesn't throw energy, so I'm just going to full send this Wild Charge and probably pivot into my own Azumarill, right? They actually no shield, they get KO'd, and it's Empoleon in the back. I know this is a really bad matchup for Azumarill, right? Honestly, this is probably one of Azumarill's worst matchups in this league, but Empoleon is so glassy that as long as I land a Play Rough, whether they shield or not, we're gonna get to 2 Play Roughs, right? As long as I land a Play Rough and I keep the shield for my MAGNE Zone, I should be able to land the required Volt Switches to just farm this thing all the way down, right? I mean, look at what the Bubbles have done. The Bubbles have already done about 30% of the Empoleon's HP. So we're even able to throw this Play Rough on good timing before they get their next move. And now I'm just going to wait for them to throw energy. They're kind of forced to throw energy here, whether they like it or not. They have to throw energy or I'm going to get to another move. They actually capped on the Ice Beam, but at this point, I just need 2 Volt Switches to knock this thing out, and my opponent is just not going to get to the 2 moves that they need to knock us out here. So that's going to be a good game. Very nice farm down there. On to the next battle here. We got MAGNE Zone into Goodra. Honestly, not a great matchup. I actually really dislike this matchup. So I'm going to do 2 and pivot into my own Goodra. These Goodras usually don't run any threatening dragon moves, so very comfortable bring in. My opponent brings in Corviknight, and they actually just go for the Air Cutter instantly. I guess it was a good play because they got the boost right away. Of course, my opponents always get the boost, whatever. But we are able to outpace to these double Thunder Punches here. They won't quite knock out, but they will put them low enough that I can choose if I want to get the farm down or not. I don't think this is worth the shield. Unfortunately, the Air Cutter does knock out because they got the boost, and they get another boost, so those sand attacks were really chunking when we came in. We bring in MAGNE Zone. I'm kind of tapping my screen, but I'm being a little bit careful, trying to make sure I see what comes in and I want to throw the energy or not. We full send the Wild Charge. Goodra shields. We bring in Azumarill, and we're going to start no-shielding these Thunder Punches. This might have not been a good idea. Azumarill is kind of our Pokemon, the only Pokemon left, right? MAGNE Zone doesn't really have HP if you think about it. This Scizor comes in. They throw energy right away. They just throw a Night Slash, so I don't really have to shield that. But unfortunately for me, that's kind of a good play by them. Because they can get a full farm down now and kind of force energy from me too. So at this point, I just have to fully farm down the Scizor, which is going to take both of my shields, by the way. And I have to hope that a Wild Charge knocks out that Goodra. They even get the boost here, which means that these Bullet Punches that are double resisted, by the way, are chunking. We cap tie the Goodra with the Wild Charge, but the Goodra is still in the green. Wild Charge is a resisted move, so unfortunately, it's just going to be not enough for us to be able to get that knockout. Very unfortunate there. Honestly, we made it really decently close nonetheless, but yeah, unlucky. On to the next battle here. We got MAGNE Zone into Dragonite. Not a bad lead whatsoever, but it's also not amazing. Look at these Volt Switches though, holy moly. Dragonite can bait the Thunder Punch instead of going Superpower, which of course they're going to do. I mean, I'm a MAGNE Zone, right? Even a Thunder Punch would probably cook me. I can't overfarm too much here. I don't want them to get another move, even if it's a Thunder Punch. So I'm just going to knock this thing all the way out, and I'm guessing, okay, you know what? I am very confident this is just going to be another double slap rendition of a team, right? So I'm going to instantly pivot into my Goodra. There's no reason to give them farm with my MAGNE Zone, and I'm a little bit scared to shield here. I kind of want the shield for my Azumarill, so maybe I can just farm this thing all the way down, shield once, and hopefully my energy in the back will be useful. It's actually not double slap though. It's Corviknight back there, and I should have thrown my wild charge instantly, right? This was kind of unnecessary. Thankfully it does force energy out of my opponent, but I should have no shielded that air cutter, right? I don't know, maybe I could have played this game a little bit better. My opponent does shield the wild charge, rightfully so. You saw there that I was kind of trying to throw my wild charge and the game didn't let me, so I took a bunch of sand attacks that definitely aren't very resisted by MAGNE. So yeah, unfortunately I just don't think we see much of a win con here. That air cutter boost definitely does not help whatsoever. So yeah, they're gonna be able to outpace us pretty severely here. My only win con is to farm this thing all the way down and have energy for that Dugtrio, which honestly I don't even think I can farm down. I mean, I don't even think I can one shot with an ice beam. But yeah, my opponent barely makes it to that last air cutter, and that's gonna be a good game. Very, very close end game. On to the next battle here. Hopefully we get a little bit better luck. MAGNE has not had the best day here. We see Fortress in the lead, and if this is Bug Bite, it's a little bit rough, but actually this Fortress is on Volt Switch. Very funny thing to see, not gonna lie. I'm obviously gonna bait here. I don't really want to go down on my defense, and they actually shield and get debuffed, so I'm just gonna pivot into Goodra here. I don't really want to be shielding Rock Tombs. I'm gonna bring in Goodra right away and throw my Aqua Tail before they get to their next move. If they're staying in, I don't really want this energy for the backline if it's going to be double debuffed, so if I can burn the clock a little bit, whether they bring in something that's a hard counter or not, I think that's going to be a good play. They actually bring in a Azumarill, which honestly is not a terribly bad Pokemon for us to see. I'm going to bank a Thunder Punch and bring in MAGNE. Azumarills are known to run Hydro in this cup a lot, but thankfully for us, they aren't. So I'm just going to farm up to the Wild Charge, instantly throw it, because I know that our clocks are misaligned, so I have to get this move off before I can't. And we're able to knock out the Azumarill. They bring in Fortress, but buddy, I resist Volt Switch. You don't. So they actually get farmed down first, and it's an Empoleon in the back. So remember, we still have a Thunder Punch banked. They only have one shield left. So if they want to shield this Thunder Punch, then be my guest. I'm just going to shield the Drill Peck and throw my own Thunder Punch once again. But my opponent keeps over farming, maybe predicting a catch or something like that. And after landing that Thunder Punch, I mean, it could be the worst Pokemon in the world in the back line. And with the 2 shields still up, we were still going to win that game. But yeah, that is going to be the last battle of the video. As you can see on the bottom right, our elo is definitely not the greatest. We're at the 2400s, but I definitely still had a lot of fun, you know, hanging out with chat, using really fun, goofy Pokemon in this league and whatnot. But yeah, you guys should let me know what you think in the comments. Honestly, once again, I did enjoy this team, even though it didn't have the best of days. But nonetheless, feel free to check me out on all my socials, guys. We have been streaming on Twitch every single weekday, so if you want to come check out those streams, feel free to come by. There is a link tree in the description below. You can join my Discord server. You can follow me on Instagram, on X, on TikTok, and once again, just check out my Twitch live streams. So if you are interested in that, go ahead and check that down below. Leave a like, leave a comment, anything you want to do on here. I'm always super cool about responding to all my comments. I like chatting with everyone about the teams and the Pokemon and whatnot. So yeah, feel free to do that, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.